never have to experience loneliness the same way that women do, especially not when it comes to dating. Dating is a male-dominated field, and I will forever stand.
Lie, bro, this is straight gobbledygook, and I'm not even mad. I'm more concerned for her than anything. She literally said any man who doesn't have a girlfriend, it's because he doesn't want a girlfriend, which, as you guys know, is not true. This woman has never heard of an incel. Basically, if that wasn't alarming enough, she also goes on and says this.
He ended things because he wanted to take time for himself. He fully has the initiative to do so.
First of all, I'm pretty sure that's not how you use the word initiative. And second of all, she means like the man has the ability to take time for himself and like the autonomy to make that decision. In that when men do that, they just leave the woman stanking and she has to like just wait for the next man to come along. And it's like, first of all, you don't have to do that just because you don't have to do that. But it's scary that she thinks like this because she's genuinely implying that one, women can't break up with men. And two, that when women are single, there's just nothing they just got to sit around waiting. And it's like, you understand, shawty, if you went around taking initiative, that's how you use that, by the way. If you took initiative and started asking out men you were interested in, I guarantee you would have a higher success rate than most men. As much as I would love to talk about this for longer, I kind of have like a situation going on right now. So I'm just gonna show you this picture and this is what's going on. Like this is literally what's happening.
In my own personal experience, the difference in the male attention that I receive when my hair is straightened versus when it's naturally curly is astronomical. I receive much more male attention when my hair is straightened rather than when it is naturally curly. Why that is, I can just only assume that men are wired to find women with straight hair more attractive. Women can fully grasp and understand how rare it is to have naturally curly hair and beauty of this rare physical quality. I don't think men think that deeply, unfortunately. At the end of the day, it just really matters what you place your value and worth in. And if it's not stupid little boys that can't see the depth in anything, then you're on the right track. So
this is such a good example of how a woman will get mad at men for having preferences that do not match her. Of course, every man has different preferences. Some men are gonna love curly hair. Other men are going to love straight hair. Many men just don't care. Or maybe they kind of like the variety, like they like to see you both ways. But instead, you're mad at men in general, or at least the men that you're interested, that you want to like you. You're mad at them for having preferences that are different than your physical traits. So then you insult them and you shame them. You make it about their depth. Like they just can't think that deeply. They can't see the beauty of curly hair. That is just taking it a little too far. And by the way, I will wear my hair both ways because my hair is actually naturally wavy. And what I have heard from my husband is that he feels like he can't touch my hair when it's curled. Like he doesn't know what to do with it. When it's straight, he feels like he can touch it. So I think that sort of plays in a little bit because it feels more approachable that he likes my straight hair a little bit more than my curly hair. For you guys that have made it this far, I'm gonna put 3 comments down below and I want you to like the one that you agree with. Either you don't care, you like curly hair, or you like straight hair more. And then after a day, I'll make a follow-up video and let you guys know the results.
If your man works a physical job, just know there's a chance that he's in pain every single day physically. That maybe he's not lazy, that he's genuinely so tired he's got nothing left. That a lot of times at these types of jobs, one false move can get him injured. So often he's emotionally spent because, he has to be safe, but also be productive, also work fast, also work in the heat or cold, also be extremely uncomfortable the entire shift. A lot of women do not give men enough grace who do those things. Being a stay-at-home parent is hard, yes, but blue-collar work is hard on a whole nother level. And when his body feels like it's breaking down, the bills don't care. The bills still expect to be paid. A lot of women don't realize that he doesn't get to pause throughout the day. He can't stop and take a drink of water, eat a snack or something. He often has to just keep going. He could be extremely cold or hot, doesn't matter. And oftentimes these men are in pain daily, and it's just normalized. Also knowing that you're replaceable completely. If you stay at home and watch the kids, you're not replaceable. But at his job, he is. And that in itself can be hard to deal with.
Most men are deeply unattractive because of Mother Nature and something called the Great Scam.
Oh, goody. Another genetics expert.
The Great Scam was the day that the male of the species convinced the female of the species that it no longer needed to prove itself worthy in order to reproduce and have babies.
Wait a minute. They can't be insinuating that the only thing that a male would have to do to prove himself worthy of reproducing would be to be attractive, right? They can't mean that.
The fact that the men are ugly says otherwise, right? They're not supposed to exist. They're supposed to be cannon fodder to the strong, attractive men who are worthy of having babies.
Oh dear. that really does seem to be what they meant. But unbeknownst to a great many out there, there are more qualities to look for in a potential partner than just what they look like. And our ancestors actually knew that.
We're out here being like, the men don't take care of themselves, that's why they're unattractive. No, you're a 10,000-year-old genetic anomaly. He's not supposed to exist, babe.
It will never cease to amaze me how some individuals can remain so willfully uninformed when there's so much information freely available out there on the internet. But let me just say this. Most individuals are aware that there is more to selecting a partner than just what they look like. But I wonder if individuals like this keep the same energy for unattractive women. Or is that another story?
I think women are so power hungry, and now that they've been given power, it reveals what women actually want to do. Because I just don't think our nature is very good.
Yeah.
I think our nature is like terrible. And so now they're like, here, you terrible people, here's a bunch of power. And they're like, yay, let's be whores. I'm going to leave my husband and I'm going to my kids. See you guys.
You make a good case. I can't really argue against
Yeah, like
you.
I just don't think our nature is very good. I just don't like, sorry, I don't mean to push back.
No,
but
I don't think most people's nature is very good though.
Well, especially women though. I think women's is way worse. It's like not even like, I feel like men's nature is like this bad and women's nature is like that bad. Feminism just weaponizes men's, how good of people men are.
Okay, let's hear this.
Because what they'll do is the women are like, please, we want to work. And the men are like, shut up, fine. Here you go, honey, I want you to be happy. And they let us go work. Boom, she's the boss. Cooked. And then they say, look, we don't want to have a kid we don't want to have my kid. I don't want to force you to have it. So they're like, okay, here you go. And they're like, let's all the kids. And we just keep doing this over and over and over again.
Women want all of the attention from a man they respect.
Right.
More than anyone
else. But the problem is, the way you earn their respect
is not by giving them everything
they want. It's not by saying, you're the most important thing, you're the only thing, what do you need, baby? Your most little whim is the most important thing to me. They have no respect for that.
Exactly.
What they want at the core, I believe, is a guy who is like, we're putting the women and children to bed and go out looking for dinner. And then we're going to come back and you're my warm, soft, well-lit place where I can lay my head. Like you're my softness in life. You're my sweetness in life. Because that's all we kind of want. Like I'll go out all day and just beat the shit out of the world. But all I want is when I'm home and I got an hour or two before I pass out because the day starts early, just be sweet. Just be kind. Be warm. Like be a warm, well-lit, soft place to lay my head. Like I'll do all the other stuff. Just give me that. Just give me that. And I'm telling you, that's not hard.
Something happens to women in the 36, 37, 38 bracket where they start to look in the mirror and panic if they're single, because that's the first time that you realize that you're not 25 anymore, right? And I'm being honest with you. Things start to change. Now, if you're married, if you have your kid, if you've got your man, if you've got your boyfriend, if you, maybe for some that are getting a boatload of attention, I was in television, it was a different world. Maybe you don't feel it as much because you still feel like you have a ton of options, but there is something that happens when the panic sets in.
There's no male loneliness epidemic. It's just that women have become undateable because of feminism and men don't want used women. 95% of girls out there are worse than Bonnie Blue. Bonnie Blue's not that bad because she is honest and I respect her a lot for that. But 95% of these girls out here are liars. They will lie to you about being this innocent princess, but they won't tell you what they did during college or what they did during spring break. And men are starting to recognize that pattern, that women are full of shit.
Today we have how social media has ruined dating. First, we have cap in the comment sections. Heart emojis, you're perfect, beautiful, stunning, cutie. We're looking at a tort. That's a problem. Number 2, late night DMs. All you motherfuckers out here DMing some gremlins at 3 a.m. That's problem number 2. And why is that a problem? It's because in the past, also shout out to the TZG Institute of Societal Change for providing us with this graph and this data. From the beginning of time, all the way up until about 2016-17, we had a nice upward trend of the attraction level against the amount of interest being received. Ones didn't get 10s got all the attention, right? But now with social media, this graph is all fucked up. Okay? You got 3s getting 8 level attraction, interest, it's all discombobulated. So, this in turn causes the hoflation effect that we are seeing today. Now, I don't have a solution for this yet. The TZG Institute of Societal Change is working on a solution. But thank you for coming to my TED Talk today and learning more about the issue that we're currently facing.
And in the clip, tonight's conversation, they were discussing men and women, how they can't be friends, and that's what I'm saying. You think that men be capping. They don't be telling the truth. Men just be talking out of their behinds. He didn't even have to go far. He didn't even have to look. She's right there on the first row. She's loud and proud with with knowing the anatomy of her friend. Well, he's just a friend. I mean, I've seen his genitalia, but he's just a friend. If I were to tell you that about a woman that I've been with, how would you feel? Or a woman that I'm friends with, how would you feel? You wouldn't feel good about that. You'd be like, there's probably something there. If she felt comfortable enough to show you all of that stuff, there's probably something there. Cut her off. Why would it be any different from the other way around?
So I've been seeing some videos on my For You page, and I think that it is finally time to discuss the female loneliness epidemic. Because I know the men have had their own thing, and I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not a man, right? But I will say that the men are more built for it than us. We are not built for this shit, ladies. We don't know how to be alone. These men have been bottling up their emotions and not sharing them with anybody since they were 6, 7, 8 years old. Some of us have never done that. We've always had someone to talk to, a friend, a family member, a significant other, something. And it seems like in 2025, the girls are running out of options because the dating market is terrible. Y'all are literally making fun of girls that are in happy, healthy relationships, saying that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. Miserables. And then y'all also don't have any friends because anytime somebody reposts something that you disagree with, oh, that's how you feel about immigration policy, you're not my friend anymore. Now y'all don't have any freaking friends. Like it's not gonna end well if your requirement for somebody to have a relationship with you is that they have to be on the exact same page with you 100% of the time. No one is. We are all people with our own thoughts, feelings, emotions, and ideas. And if you don't respect that in another person, then of course you're going to be by yourself. There's no one else that's going to fit that mold. I'll have to learn healthy communication skills. You have to learn healthy relationship skills. Go to therapy if you need to, do something. But if you are sitting at home right now and you don't have 5 friends that you can call, no man, and your family members just don't get you, I promise the only common denominator in all of those scenarios is...
So why is it that men feel threatened when a female has a lot of male friends that are just friends that we don't sleep with?
You. They could you, and men don't like that. Men know that men will play the long game.
Yeah, I was just about to say
they'll
that.
be the bestie, but they're waiting for that stuff. So they can be like, come over, lay on my talk about it. What did that do here? Because they will pillow talk about another to you quick.
Hey, listen, them friends be giving the best therapeutic. These will give you a relationship advice after kicking you down. Like, yeah, you gonna work this shit out. I really swinging and everything. You got a male best friend, right? Just say yes or no.
And do.
Do you know how big his is?
I sure do.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I thought she was going to say something completely different than that.
That right there.
See?
That right there.
And you think we be tripping. They be like, y'all tripping.
What's with all the older women saying don't get married? Are they being for real? Does marriage actually ruin your life? Is it just the person? Is it just marriage in general?
No, do get married. But don't base the man on what your friends think or any of the superficial things we often see scrolling, like his looks or how much money he makes. Go by genuine personality and how well you guys get along. Because when you're married, you have to go through hard things, like just any old relationship. And sometimes it really sucks. You have to be okay with those hard moments and doing that with your person together, where you're both working towards a common goal. And sometimes it's like, it's not what you see in the movies. And a lot of people don't take that seriously enough, the commitment you're going to make to that other person to stay no matter how annoying things get. And that's why I feel like a lot of marriages fail, because more people are so self-focused on what they get rather than what they can also give. Sometimes in your relationship, you're giving a little bit more than receiving for a little while, and that's just normal. Sometimes you might be in a bad situation and you don't know when you're going to come out of it.
We have made it so difficult for men to get women, and everyone, both sexes, are suffering as a result. The solution to the dating crisis is actually pretty simple, not easy, and it involves two things. 1, women need to be able to see the same men repeatedly, and 2, men need to be able to demonstrate some form of competence in front of women. The problem is, we've destroyed a lot of the places where this used to happen naturally, and the rest of the places we've mostly made it socially unacceptable to do. It's why dating apps aren't working out that well for women. They need places where they can warm up to a guy. Otherwise, they'll just swipe through and pick the tallest, richest one and call it a day and wonder why they're miserable in a couple years. And men need to be able to show off something other than just being tall and hot, which is basically all dating apps allow you to show. So if you have any other skill or ability or way to stand out, good luck. There's a reason that high school boys carry a lot of chairs at church youth group. There's a reason that a guy scoring a touchdown or doing a sick guitar solo is rarely alone later in the night. He's able to invent his attractiveness. He's able to say, hey, I'm top dog in this domain. Meanwhile, apps have narrowed the domains that you can succeed in, basically attractiveness, height, and to the degree that you can signal it wealth. But here's where my issue is. We have societally made it pretty unacceptable for men to ask women out at basically all of the places where women see men frequently and where men can demonstrate any kind of flex. Like, everyone loves Jim and Pam in the millennial generation, but they actually hate office romance. And Gen Z is very much following in their footsteps. Now, there are still some environments where this is possible, but they're very much environments that you have to actively opt into. Social dancing, run clubs, volunteer work, church groups, political campaigns. And to be clear, I think these things are all good and you should opt into them, but we have to also recognize that societally we're starting to handicap ourselves by narrowing the number of places where you can socially acceptably ask someone out, because it's gotten so narrow that now only dating apps fit the bill.
I talk about how we as women need to get it together, and the first thing that a woman will say is, well, a man needs to get it together too. I'm not talking about men right now. I'm not even focused on men right now. I'm focused on us as women. I can't tell a man how to be a man because I'm not one. Absolutely. But I can tell a woman how to be a high value feminine woman. I can tell a woman how to get a high value masculine man because I have one, and that's all I've dated for the last 10 years. I can teach a woman a little bit of something.
But Brock had everything and then he chose you.
And this is the difference, right? I don't lead with money. So you want to talk about how to get a high value masculine man to choose you, or a high value, high earning masculine man to choose you? How about you have a nice disposition? How about you decide to be kind? You're interested instead of interesting. Successful men do not care about your accolades. They don't. They don't care how many degrees you have. They don't care how much money you have, because a man that desires to provide, the men that women say they want, they don't care. So you're leading with wrong bait.
Regular men don't care either. Just put that out there too.
They want to provide.
Yeah, nobody cares what y'all bringing all that extraness. Like, they're looking for the feminine energy, a real wife.
Period.
If you want men to be more chivalrous, women, all you need to do is be more appreciative of the things that a man does. It's as simple as that. I know it sounds crazy, and most women are like, well, no, I am like that. Ask yourself, when was the last time you went on a date and you said thank you? Thanks for the meal. Thanks for the flowers. Thanks for opening the car door. Or, I really appreciate you taking the time to find this place. Wow, this place was really great. Thanks for taking me here. This is amazing. Men don't hear that enough. Men do not feel appreciated enough. And as such, men stop doing these things. Because unfortunately, a large majority of women have felt like this is normal, that this should just be the norm, when it's not in fact the norm. Men do not do these things normally for random women. They only do it for women that they're trying to court. So when you're more appreciative, the man is going to be more willing to do these things, to go out of his way to make sure that you feel special. So ladies, again, if you want more chivalry in your life, be more appreciative. It's as simple as that.
In my own personal experience, the difference in the male attention that I receive when my hair is straightened versus when it's naturally curly is astronomical. I receive much more male attention when my hair is straightened rather than when it is naturally curly. Why that is, I can just only assume that men are wired to find women with straight hair more attractive. Women can fully grasp and understand how rare it is to have naturally curly hair and the beauty of this rare physical quality. And I just don't think men think that deeply, unfortunately. At the end of the day, it just really matters what you place your value and worth in. And if it's not stupid little boys that can't see the depth in anything, then you're on the right track. So
This is such a good example of how a woman will get mad at men for having preferences that do not match her. Of course, every man has different preferences. Some men are gonna love curly hair. Other men are going to love straight hair. Many men just don't care. Or maybe they kind of like the variety, like they like to see you both ways. But instead, you're mad at men in general, or at least the men that you're interested, that you want to like you. You're mad at them for having preferences that are different than your physical traits. So then you insult them and you shame them. You make it about their depth. Like they just can't think that deeply. They can't see the beauty of curly hair. That is just taking it a little too far. And by the way, I will wear my hair both ways because my hair is actually naturally wavy. And what I have heard from my husband is that he feels like he can't touch my hair when it's curled. Like he doesn't know what to do with it. When it's straight, he feels like he can touch it. So I think that sort of plays in a little bit because it feels more approachable that he likes my straight hair a little bit more than my curly hair. For you guys that have made it this far, I'm going to put 3 comments down below and I want you to like the one that you agree with. Either you don't care, you like curly hair, or you like straight hair more. And then after a day, I'll make a follow-up video and let you guys know the results.
So to all of you women who have went out of your way to hurt a man for whatever reason you did, to the point where now they think that we're all the same, I have something for you. Because now I keep coming in contact with men who are emotionally unavailable, don't know how to communicate, and they have trauma because you decided to do something to someone. So I despise you, and yeah, have a good night.
Then all I want to grab one thing. The more you try, the less I bite, and I don't have to think it through. You know if I'm feeling you.
So it took 4 women and 1 woman standing around doing nothing to do a job 2 men could do. Congratulations. The question is, what happens if you don't have 3 of those girls? You can no longer do what a man can do.
I think a lot of men are tired of shenanigans. They're just tired of the woman's foolishness. No one was saying, man, you know, a lot of women have unrealistic expectations and men are, you know, they're just tired of women. No, they're tired of the shenanigans. They're tired of the foolishness. I'm tired of having to sit around and listen to stupidity. And then when I call it out for being what it is, stupid, you want to now attack me for, oh man, you rude, you this. No, what you have going on right now is stupid. It's foolishness. That's what it is. And you don't want anybody to hold you accountable for the stuff that's coming out of your mouth, but it's dumb. It's not emotionally intelligent. It's not emotionally mature. It's childish. And you're not reading the room. You don't communicate effectively. You don't do any of that stuff. You're acting like a loser right now, to be honest.
Okay, I want to address something that I think is really important. I feel like a lot of men are tired of women, and I actually understand why, and I get it. Us as women can be very delusional sometimes, and I know people might come in the comments and hate me for saying this, but it's very true. We require things from men that we shouldn't actually require. Especially if you know you are not interested in that man or want anything from that man, you still require him to treat you with things that you shouldn't really be obtaining. And if you think about it deeply, if you had a son, would you want your son to spend money on a woman that he doesn't know is sure about him? Would you want your son to consistently be putting himself out for a woman that does nothing in return for him? Now, I'm not saying that a woman should bend over backwards for a man that's not her boyfriend or her husband, but I'm saying give a little where it's due. Do you get what I'm saying here? I feel like a lot of the times women, as women, we dismiss men. We dismiss how they feel, we dismiss their boundaries, and we kind of make them feel like less than. And it's not nice. Men have emotions, they feel too. And I feel like even when we as women say we want our man to have emotions, we want him to have that, as soon as he lets out his emotions, what happens? He's a Do we need to have more grace when it comes to men? Or are we at the point where we as women are just tired of men, so we just be saying what we want to say in retaliation to the anger that we feel inside for them? Comment below.
Should women submit to men?
No.
Women should not submit to men.
No.
Okay. Are you Christian?
Yes.
Okay. Do you agree with her on those things? This is completely incoherent and contradictory to your own worldview that you claim to be a part of, your own perspective. You claim to be Christians. Ephesians 5:22, wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church. Now as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husbands in everything. Do you believe that the Bible is the inspired word of God?
Yes.
If scripture is God-breathed, then rejecting clear commands is disagreement with God. Do you disagree with God?
No.
Okay, so the scripture that I cited to you before, wives obey your husbands, wives submit yourselves to your husbands, you guys are disagreeing with the scripture. So you're disagreeing with God. Is that tenable as a Christian?
No, it is not.
They sucks! They don't initiate, they don't execute, they don't lead, they don't provide, they don't protect, they don't reach out to you. They say they're going to do something and then they don't do it. I mean,
A lot of men feel exactly the same way. They don't cook, they don't clean, they're not willing to give back. They're not willing to reciprocate, they're not willing to be sweet, they're not willing to say thank you. They're not willing to appreciate anything. They expect everything on the first date, and then he gets ghosted afterwards. She expects him to read her mind. And then when he fails, he's out. And then everything that he did before that was for nothing.
I feel like I'm sharing the secrets of women that women don't want to tell, but I'm going to share it. Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. I think something that women would never want a man to know is truly how much she desires boundaries. She wants to hear no. She wants to see a man who has so much self-control. A man who has self-control and discipline over his flesh is so attractive. And a man who's like, baby, I love you. We're not doing that today, okay? I love you. If he's doing it from the heart posture and reverence of not controlling his woman, that's the difference. A woman can sense heart posture a mile away, and so can men. Men can sense when a woman is being controlling versus nurturing.
These women doing a roofing job are going viral because of their pace of work. Men are hilariously comparing them to male workers. Check out these comments.
Let's go. No profit crew.
Someone really said one Mexican would have been done already. So here's a comparison video of two men doing a similar job.
This is wrong. Hey, yo, stop, bro. Stop.
That's a lot of women for a roof job. Hopefully they fit.
All right, so as someone who's been in like the dating pool for like at least the past 3 years, the majority, here are the top 5 things that I immediately swipe no for on dating apps. Immediately. I haven't seen anybody say it, so I'm gonna say it. If I see a picture of a woman and she's not smiling, immediately no. Immediately. Like, I want to see someone that is expressive, someone that exudes positivity. Like, if you're not smiling in your photos, it could be for a number of reasons. I don't know. Maybe that you're insecure about something, but I want to know because I think a beautiful smile is so attractive. Number 2, if like your first video doesn't show your face, swipe. I'm not even. Yeah. Number 3, which I thought should be obvious, but it's not. You'd be surprised what's on these dating apps. A woman to say something like, you know, first drink on me as long as I get to use your card or bank account. What? Swipe. Odds are I'm going to buy the drink anyway, but not for you. Number 4, I know this is controversial, but profiles where it's more about your body than it is about who you are. Like, yes, show pictures, who you are. Obviously, attraction is important, so I need to see how you look. You need to see how I look. Cool. But nothing about yourself? Like, who are you? What do you like? What are you like? You know? Number 5, if you talk in caps on your dating profile, immediately no. If you can't articulate yourself enough and let whoever it is that's viewing your profile know who you are and how you feel without caps, I don't want no smoke. Immediately no.
Okay, if you're gonna make a video about your husband, how he's literally the worst man alive, and then your next post is not a divorce announcement, it's a pregnancy announcement, I need you to shut off your phone and stop telling us. You clearly like to be miserable. Stop telling us.
Now, this is something that I can actually agree with. However, there's a part that she's not discussing. And that part is that those same women that get online and complain about their relationships and marriages and paint their husband out to be the worst person possible and still stay with him, be lying. A lot of them do it for the validation and the attention of other women on social media because it feels good. That's why a lot of those women don't ever leave, because he's not really as horrible as they make him out to be. And not only do they refuse to leave, you never actually see this man. You don't even know if he really exists. And a lot of the times, if they do actually have a husband, he's not even on social media as much as they are. And so in turn, there's a good chance he's probably not going to even see the video that she made about him unless someone directly sends it to him, which is a slim chance, which now puts him in a position to probably never ever see the video. And if he ever does approach her about it, she's going to make light of the situation, make it seem like it's nothing when it really is something. And 9 times out of 10, he's going to be like, you know what, whatever, I'm not really tripping about it because I know it's not true, even though it should be a really big issue in a relationship. And then there's a good chance she's probably going to give him that head that she promised him 3 months ago, and he's going to feel better about himself. He's going to climax, go to sleep, and forget all about it. Unfortunately, that is the sequence for a lot of men in America. But you know what? I ain't got to listen to what I'm saying because I'm just a normal guy. Yeah, keep the change.
Some women can't understand logic when they don't agree. And it's not that they don't understand, they just don't like it.
Ooh, I look fine today. Let me post it for the world to see. Because what are you posting it for? To get that attention. It's as simple as that. There's no other reason to post. Now, I'm going to ask y'all this. If a dude tell y'all, you can post the same stuff you've been posting. Post whatever you want. But make your page private and delete all males off your page that's not family member. How would you feel about a dude saying that? Would you think he tripping, or you like, okay, yeah, let's do it?
That's controlling.
So you would think he tripping?
Yes, that's controlling.
Trinity, you would think he tripping?
I would. I'm not gonna.
So
Narcissistic.
Okay, they just said they posting for themselves. They doing it just because it look good. They just said it's not no unloyal aspect to this. But when we take males out of the equation, you the bad guy. But before you take them out of the equation, they just posting for themselves. It can't be for y'all sales, and it can't be just because you feel good, because I'm still saying, babe, post it. Baby, do your thing. Post whatever you want to post, however many times you want to post it. Let's just take the men that might pose a threat to our relationship or trying to get in between what we got going. Let's take them out the picture. Babe, keep doing what you're doing, but let's take them out the picture. Remove the risk. Now I'm tripping. So don't think click in y'all head that, maybe I'm not just doing it just for me. Or maybe I'm not just doing it just because I feel good. Can we agree to that now?
I still can't agree.
We gotta agree.
They'll swear up and down. They want a strong man. They want a leader. They want a logical man. But when that logic contradicts with their feelings, or until that logic exposes that they're wrong, then suddenly you're negative, you're toxic, you just don't get it. No, we get it. You just don't like to be called out.
Chivalry's not, but miserable women might. I had a woman in my comment section the other day tell me that cooking for a man is so sorry. I don't speak fluent Gen Z, but I'm assuming what she meant was like pathetic. But if doing kind things for a man that he can do for himself is considered pathetic, then that would imply that men doing anything chivalrous would be pathetic. I'm a grown woman. I'm capable of opening my own door. Feminism has glorified independence so much that now being kind to others, even your freaking husband, is considered embarrassing.
I'm gonna call BS. A lot of these women cannot sense heart posture. What they call controlling is actually not controlling. And when what you're calling controlling, you've blown past respect. When a man says, I think you might need to be careful of that. I think you might need to watch out for that. I don't think that's the way that you need to go. You blow past that. You'd have blown past that 2 or 3 months ago when a man telling you, and you keep on talking about what you want to do, where you want to go, what you want to be involved in, and the man then told you even 2 or 3 months, 6 months before you done gone on that trip, or you done done that, not to do that. And then when you go up there and do that, now we're talking about ultimatums. The man that said, we should have never even gotten here because I was telling you this was going to be the answer. This is how I was going to feel all of those months. I still feel the same way. And you did not listen. You did not listen. And now you're calling it controlling. The man's heart posture was good back in the day. 3 months ago, when he was trying to tell you, do not do that. And this is why. And y'all have had many conversations about it, but you did it anyway. because you needed the experience. I just gotta do my own thing. Well, you doing your own thing is putting me out. You doing your own thing is messing me up. That's what men keep on trying to tell you.
I would even want a boyfriend.
Most people want to be in a relationship because, one, they're wanting companionship or possibly looking for someone to marry. But, as you can probably guess, that is not the reason why some women want a boyfriend.
I take out the garbage. It's a huge one to break down the boxes, to give me massages before bed every day, to compliment me every time I try on a new outfit, or I'm thinking twice about what I'm wearing, to pay for dinners, nails, get my car washed, to fill up the gas in my car. I have never and will never take my car through the car wash. I don't even know how.
Sadly, the types of women that say these sorts of things, and they're not all that uncommon, are the same types that still say they want equal rights and want to be treated as equals, yet can't take their own car through the car wash.
And to fill the need in some ways, but
wow, instead of using a person for what you can get out of them, someone could find other options.
also to stop me from drinking as much. I feel like I could definitely stay in and just cuddle if I had someone. I wouldn't feel like I need to be on the streets that often. I'd be a little bit more mellow.
What an interesting way of admitting that someone has no self-control and no self-discipline.
Someone to work out with and hold each other accountable for health-wise, but that's about it. Nothing else comes to mind.
Gee, with prizes like that out there, I can't imagine why so many guys are choosing to remain single.
I saw a content creator who said male content challenges them, female content validates them. And I could not agree more. The male-centered content usually sounds like level up, get disciplined, fix your mindset, stop blaming everybody. Meanwhile, female-centered content usually sounds like you're perfect the way you are. You don't need to change. Everyone else is the problem. Heal, be soft. Because when it comes to women and the kind of content that we usually consume, it's just to make us feel good. It's only to validate us in our current state. It's not to push us. It's not to challenge us. But then when you have women like me that come around and make content that challenges other women to be better, do better, to make the necessary changes, to fix the mindset, now I'm public enemy one. Because I'm not telling you you're perfect and you don't stink. I'm telling you the real. And a lot of women don't like that. A lot of women don't like to be held accountable. A lot of women don't like to be told that they're wrong. And that's the problem. I'm not saying that women shouldn't be validated. What I'm saying is don't confuse comfort with empowerment. Validation feels good, but validation without accountability is how people stay stuck.
So I was talking to a male friend of mine the other day, and he told me that women don't apologize and women can't be held accountable. And I began to really think deeply about this idea. And one of the things that came across my mind is, in the last 9 months or so of me being in my private practice, I have myself experienced many women, whether they came in as a couple or they came by themselves, they very abruptly discontinued their therapy. And I started to reflect and really think, what was going on here? And I noticed that after I had to confront them about something, I had to bring to their attention something they were doing that wasn't contributing to the health of the relationship, they became very defensive and very, just very harsh, and they stopped coming. And even though the husband would continue to come, he made it very clear that, yeah, she won't apologize. She thinks you're wrong. She thinks you're taking my side. And I began to really reflect, oh my gosh, is it true that women don't apologize? Is it that women struggle with being held accountable? I'd love your thoughts on this. Me personally, I think it has to do with a person's level of emotional maturity. What do you think?
So this black woman messaged me and she was like, I feel as though you empathize with black men, but you don't empathize with black women. Well, the reason why I empathize with black men is because black men are the most disrespected out of all the races in the world, right? Black men are the most disrespected by their woman, meaning the black woman, right? There is no other race in the world where women think that it's okay to disrespect their man the way that black women disrespect black men. And here's the crazy part about it. Let's go to the statistics. Let's go to the facts. Black women are the least likely to get married. Black men are getting married at higher rates than black women. Black men are commodities. If you go to any place around the world, most women want black men. Black men are commodities. But for whatever reason, black women don't see that. And then they are entitled and think that they're supposed to come with all this baggage, be out of shape, have all these kids, out of marriage, and just be really a hot mess. And then a black man is just supposed to be like, well, I should just settle for this. The black woman really thinks that the black man should be happy with settling with their nonsense and foolishness, on top of being combative and disrespectful. Why would a black man deal with that when he can go get a woman from another race that is going to not have kids, the whole nine, and want to actually get on his program? I'm going to need black women to wake up.
I'm just the messenger, ladies. I'm just telling y'all, right? Let me tell you the biggest misconception of this generation, that men are weak. But it's not that men are weak. It's just a lot of men have finally reached the point where they stop fighting for relationships where they feel unappreciated, unheard, and unsupported. For a lot of years, men were willing to carry all the burdens and make all the sacrifices and take on all the battles for the people that they felt like valued them and respected them. So it has nothing to do with weakness. It's just a lot of men that feel like no matter how much they carry, someone will find a way to look at their efforts and say, that's it? What is the point for fighting battles for someone that's going to always discredit you, disrespect you, and dismiss you? So that's why there's men all over the world that's choosing to tap out. And it has nothing to do with weakness. Men just decided to stop investing all their time and energy into people that don't value them. And they're choosing a life that benefits them.
Why is the word submission so taboo for women? Like, I cannot understand it. Submission does not mean servitude. It means trust. It means you believe in the man that you chose that is capable to lead you. I think I understand what it means is that women, when they hear that word submission, they think that they are giving up all of their power. That's the big problem that we're in right now, is women got this big old power struggle that they're going through right now. And they don't understand that real submission works with a man that has proved himself worthy to you. I'm going to say this again, and I have said it before. Every single man wants respect. And submission is nothing but respect in action. Women think that submission is all about being beneath a man. It ain't even about that. This is why there's a hierarchy. There's a king and there's a queen. We fall under the king while the empire is being built. What we got to understand is that it is about alignment. No empire is built with two people trying to fight for the throne. Submission is not about losing yourself in a relationship. You're there in a relationship to work together, to make each other happy. Period. And when you can find that, when you choose the right man, you will have peace with him and he will have peace with you.
I know I'm about to make the pick me police real upset with this one, but let's go ahead and get into it. Ladies, it is perfectly fine and acceptable for you to ask a man on a date. What I'm saying is, when there is a gentleman that you are interested in, maybe y'all have engaged in a mild flirtation, maybe, y'all kind of been doing that little dance, and you want to spend a little time. Hey, it is perfectly fine and acceptable to say, hey, it's a movie I've been wanting to see. Would you like to go? I'll grab the tickets. Perfectly acceptable. What that also does is it makes you set apart, because most women aren't going to do that. Most women, what we're going to do, we'll like a guy and we'll sit down and just wait and wait and wait, maybe throw a hint or two, and then you'll be waiting for a long time. If I'm interested and I want to spend a little time, I don't have a problem being assertive. Notice I said assertive, not aggressive. But if we can take this biblical, if you just dare to, when you look at, everybody talks about Ruth and Boaz, but Ruth was pretty assertive when it came to, making the move on Boaz. She did her part and was assertive. There is nothing wrong with being assertive with the man that you are interested in. And so this is just for us to know, especially, I'm a little bit older. We don't have that kind of time to play, does he like me, what he thinking? And a lot of times we got gotta stop acting like these men are mind readers. So I say, ladies, go for it. You be assertive, not aggressive. Be assertive and take that shot. Stop being scared and be assertive when it's a man that you are interested in.
This particular day and age, women don't like confidence. Really? No, not in a guy, because this gives off too much alpha. Because the confidence means you can't trick me. If I bring off the energy that you can't trick me and you can't run the manipulation game on me, she's gonna find another guy that she feels can. That's the difference. So if you're a real man and you got that confidence and you're gonna fight through the adversity, she may like the core of you, but she wants to change that. She wants to mold you into what she feels comfortable, which is someone beneath her. I really pay attention when it comes to women too, because I love them so much.
And once again, you have a lot of men that, because society says that men, by and large, are not in control of their emotions. But you actually have a guy, which most men have been telling women in a manner that's calm, it's soft, it's not aggressive. Hey, it's not that we don't like you guys, it's just we don't feel like we're being respected. There's a lot of stuff that we're doing that there's going to be somebody that finds a way to say, oh, you ain't doing enough, or you're not good enough. It seems like a lot of women are saying that. So as a woman, like you wanting the man to hear, oh, she needs a little bit more support. That's a man saying, I need a little bit more support. So when you meet a man, your duty as a woman, instead of saying, well, I put on makeup, that should be all I need to do. I put on a nice pair of jeans. That should be all I need to do. No, you need to support him. If he's saying, well, you know, I feel like a lot of times in a lot of situations, my effort and my energy was not being reciprocated. Now you just been put on alert. Oh, okay. So that's something that he's going with, something he's going through. So now when I get on this date, my job is no longer to just get up here and look pretty. That's great, fantastic. But now I'm listening to him and I'm listening to respond and I'm listening to say, yeah, you know, that's a really good thing that you did, right? You're not trying to like blow smoke up his behind, but you're listening and saying, okay, that's a problem that he has. Let me fix that, because that's what you're asking a man to do. That's what modern women say. You know, if he can't solve any of my issues, then why do I need him around? And so my issue is I need a man that's willing to court me, that's willing to take care of me, that's willing to make sure that the bills are paid and make sure that you set up the environment so I can feel valued and I can feel safe. I can feel comfortable. I can walk into my house not feeling like the lights are going to be shut off. I can walk into my house not feeling like the world is on fire, like the kids over here jumping on the walls and swinging from the chandeliers. You know, ain't no dinner cooks. So, you know, even before I get to dinner, I didn't come off an 8 to 10 hour shift, and now I got to get home and I got to clean up the house first because my OCD and my ADHD is acting up right now and I can't focus on one thing. And then when I finally get to cooking, I'm tired. And then when I'm done cooking, I got to put the kids to bed. I got to bathe them. I got to help them with their homework. And after that, you waiting on me, want me to give you a little something before bed. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. If you want me to do more things, take something off my plate. Okay. So if a man has to do that, then you got to do that for a man. If a man is feeling like my efforts are not being reciprocated, what do you mean? I feel like I got to pay for all of this. I feel like I got to do all of this stuff. Well, you don't have to pay for everything. I can help out. Okay. So if you pay the mortgage, I'll pay the bills. Okay. That you're not paying for everything. You're just paying for some things and you helping out. Okay. If you're going to go take the cars to get fixed and the oil and all that stuff, I'll take the kids over to grandmother's house. She'll keep the kids and I can drive you down to the mechanic shop, pick you up, and we can actually go get lunch. We can go shopping. We can actually go get lunch. That'll be a little date for us. Right. And then around about 3 or 4 o'clock, depending on when we can go get the kids. Take them home. You put one kid in the bathtub. I put another one in the bathtub in our room. You do the one downstairs, and we both get the kids ready, put them to bed, and then we watch our show. So you can feel like you don't have to take care of everything. So you can understand and feel like I'm not pulling money from you and I'm not spending on anything. I'm actually putting into the house, right? You have a life insurance policy on you. I put a life insurance policy on me. simple. But most modern women don't be doing that.